Earlier this morning on my storyline, I did a little thing that talks about net worth or cash on hand. And I want to talk to you about this today because sometimes we get a lot of stuff confused. You'll hear about people where they say their net worth is this, their net worth is that. And they may say their net worth is $250,000, their net worth may be $1,000,000. That's fine. But your net worth doesn't mean cash on hand. Your net worth means this is what everything all combined is. It's your cash on hand. That's what your house is worth, your cars are worth, your jewelry's worth, and that kind of stuff. Now, cash on hand is important because that's something that you can use right away. So let's think about this as a both and situation. Some people say, I buy everything in cash. That's fine. But sometimes you get to the point where stuff costs so much of this money that you can't do that. So this net worth thing allows you to either borrow or what you need, which you can do that at 0% interest if your credit score is high enough, or it allows you to get whatever you need because you have that net worth. Now that cash on hand, if you have that cash on hand, you can take that money and buy it straight in cash. But a lot of people don't, because a lot of times when you have so much cash on hand, part of that is what is called your emergency fund. So let's take a net worth of about $2 million. Normally, when a person has a net worth of $2 million, they probably have somewhere between $500,000 to $1 million cash on hand. If it's in investments, if it's in savings accounts, checkers account, money market accounts, that kind of stuff. And then when you see somebody who has $1 million net worth or $1 million, what they call in assets, they normally have somewhere between $250,000 to maybe $500,000 cash, because most of the times their stuff is wrapped up in their homes and that kind of stuff, their net worth. So when you look up a star and they say, hey, so-and-so is worth this much net worth, the cash that he or she has exposed to them is not as much as you think, because their things may be jewelry that a lot of it is pinned up to, their house there's a lot of stuff pinned up to, which is still good to have because you can always sell it and get that money. So when we start talking about this net worth thing and cash, it's not a one or the other, it's a both and, because to be able to invest money, to be able to make purchases, to be able to buy property like apartments and duplexes and stuff like that with zero down, it's about your net worth. You can still have that cash in hand, but they want you to have something that they can put something against when they give you the money to buy the rest of their stuff. So it's not a one or the other, it's a both ands. Sometimes people, especially sometimes in my Hispanic community, they all have a lot of cash. When you see them at the store, they're paying it in cash a lot. And even in our African American community, it's the same way. But that credit that they need, or that loan for start a business or whatever it is, sometimes it's hard for them to get, because guess what? They have no net worth, or what we call assets, to be on that net worth, to be able to get that loan for that business or property that they want to buy and that kind of stuff. So cash on hand is important, but we still need to make sure that we have a good net worth that has assets in it more than just cash. If you have $1 million, it's a great thing. $1 million in cash is good. I can tell you exactly what it looks like. But you still want to have them assets to go along with it. Your house, your cars, jewelry, gold, silver, and that kind of thing. But that way you build a well-rounded portfolio. See, when you build that well-rounded portfolio, that lets you be in a better place, especially when it gets closer and closer to time for you to say, hey, I don't want to work no more. So you have that assets, you have that portfolio, you have that cash, and you're able to do what you need to do. So just a little video that talks about cash versus your net worth, which has to do with your assets. See, your net worth doesn't mean you have that in cash. It just means that your net worth is that high. That's why it's always going to be a both and. That's the simple part of it. Cash, net worth, assets. It's a both and. So your portfolio is well rounded. You're able, or spending power, and your borrowing power is the same. See, when your net worth is high, your borrowing power is high. When your cash results is high, then your borrowing power is not as much, because in their mind is you got all that cash, but you have nothing for them to put it back on. So you could take that cash and spend it, and then they'll be out. But the house and all this other stuff that you have as assets to have your buying power, they know that you can't just get rid of those. That's the reason why that net worth is important also. So, like I tell you in this video, it's just another tip of trying to get financial free in 2023, trying to get debt free in 2023. And way the market is, trying to set yourself apart and make sure that you have those assets, that net worth, and even that cash to maybe invest in a property, maybe invest in something else, maybe invest in stock because the market is low, you can get it at a bargain. This is not financial advice, but I'm telling you what's worked for me over the years. Like I tell you in these videos, if this video does anything for you, anything for anybody else, maybe give you just a little more knowledge of how cash and assets and net worth work, share this video, like this video, send it to a friend, send it to a frenemy or an enemy, because we all want to make sure that our lives are getting better. I know sometimes people say, why do you talk about this money thing? I talk about this money thing because you can get it up here in the front of your mind and get it in his heart, it will come to fruition. You know, that's the way it works. It's simple, but it's hard. It takes discipline. Like I tell you in these videos, you're built for greatness, you're built for success, and you're built to know the difference between your cash and your assets and your net worth. And to be able to make that work for you, it is a both and. Have a blessed and wonderful day.